What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tattoo Critiques. Now, I know it's been a while since we've done collector tattoos, so I figured we'd jump right into that. And I noticed a lot of times collectors send in pretty boring tattoos, so hopefully we've got some good stuff today. Once again, welcome back. As I said before, this episode's all about collector tattoos, so let's jump right into it with the first one sent in by Matthew Price. Matthew, you sent over this Ed 209 because you know Robocop is my favorite movie, and it is the greatest movie of all time. There's no argument there.
Anything you say may be used against you.
You did send over a fresh and healed picture of this tattoo, but let's check out the fresh one first. You did mention when you first got this tattoo that it looked pretty sharp, as most new tattoos do. But I gotta give you a little pushback on that because this really isn't that sharp, and I can almost tell that this thing's gonna be one giant blob. It's just a lot of black, and a lot of these areas are very tight together. There's not really much skin tone in between these big black areas, so I can't predict this will age very well. There's not a lot to it. I wish I could see it in its true form in a nice three-dimensional image, but I mean, I don't hate the design. I just wish it was done better. And by me. All Robocop tattoos should be done by me. If you want a Robocop tattoo, I'm the guy.
He's number 2 guy at OCP.
So let's go ahead and bring up the healed picture and talk about that, because that's what matters. And just as I expected, this thing is pretty less than stellar. And I'm not sure if it's just the picture, but it looks like the top of this Ed 209 is pretty raised or bumpy, which could indicate scarring. If you wanted to try and save this tattoo, I would almost suggest putting in light grays over this whole entire thing to really make those black shapes a bit more sharp. So I don't think this tattoo is quite dead in the water yet. I do think there's a little bit of saving it. The 2 black circles on, I guess you'd call that Ed 209's groin, have completely closed up. There used to be skin tone there. A lot of the skin tone on the right side on the gun also closed up as well. I don't know, I'm just so bummed to see one of my favorite figures absolutely annihilated. Can't show the rest of that clip, but you know what happens. I do like the addition of the OCP symbol there. I hope you didn't go back to the same artist, otherwise it's just gonna be a giant O. But Matthew, I appreciate you so much for knowing that Robocop is my favorite movie. I'm not sure exactly where you would have got that from. And thank you so much once again for sending that over and allowing me to take a peek. The next one sent in is from Simon Tanvalai, and Simon, you sent over this unfinished back piece that you say is 70 hours in so far. So I'm not gonna talk about this one too much as it is unfinished. I do wanna see this one when it's all buttoned up, but as it sits right now, this thing is pretty extraordinary. I'm a sucker for great traditional Japanese tattoos, and as it sits right now, this one has all the right elements to make an extraordinary tattoo. I love all the little details in the fabric. I know that had to take a long time. I mean, 70 hours is crazy, but whatever it takes, I suppose. But again, not gonna talk about this one too much. Please send it over when it's all finished. Thank you so much for sending that over. The next one comes in from Jeremy Sawyer with a Ren and Stimpy tattoo. And so far, I'm loving all the ideas of the tattoos we've seen so far. I'm a huge fan of 90s cartoons, and Ren and Stimpy was definitely at the top of the list. This tattoo is also a spin on the Fear and Loathing movie, which is pretty rad to see. And I like most of this tattoo, but there are some elements that I'm just not thrilled with. Like when we look at Stimpy's glasses, I know that's probably healed, I hope, but it just looks like the skin is rather textured, so I'm not sure if it's scarred or overworked or what, but it's just not very crisp. And I find that a bit surprising because the greens in the background are very well saturated, and those bright greens can generally be pretty difficult to tattoo. I might suggest one more pass on this tattoo when everything's completely healed up. It might make this look a bit more crisp, especially around Stimpy's eyes. I do love the colors that the artist chose for Stimpy's body. The dark reds and that weird looking tan color just makes it look grimy, in a good way. If I were tattooing this, I would have put a gray wash outline around all those little flowers in Ren's shirt. It would just make them stand out a bit more. I think the artist did a pretty great job saturating those tans in Ren as well. It just seems to be where the details get a little more tight, it gets a bit muddy. But overall, rad idea, pretty solid application. Not the best, but it's close. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for sending that over. All right, the next one is sent over by Sasha. Sasha, you got this tattoo 2 weeks ago and you're worried about how it's healing. And to be honest, I don't really know what you expect me to do with this kind of tattoo. There's not really much to critique, aside from saying it is blown out. But what do you want from me? And no shade to you, but this is kind of what I'm talking about when I say a lot of these collector tattoos are boring.
Dick, you're fired!
I'm sure it means a lot to you, but as far as a critique goes, there's just not really anything interesting happening. Ooh, 1960. I mean, this is literally a 5-minute tattoo, so I'm not even gonna critique it for that long. But thank you so much for sending that over. Next up, we have one sent in by Carolina S. with this fairly simple sword tattoo. Simple's not always bad. This one's simple, but done really well. And I always think the simple tattoos are sometimes a lot harder to do, because mistakes can show a lot more easily. Luckily, this tattoo was done pretty well, and I do appreciate the use of multiple line weights. The thin lines on the inside of the leaves compared to the lines on the outside of the leaves is something I always appreciate. And the same could be said for those flowers and even the line running down the middle of the sword. And for being so small and simple, the artist managed to make even the handle of the sword look really cool. The star on top, it's got some janks to it. It's not perfect, but that is a really hard tattoo to execute. But overall, for being such a small-ish tattoo, I think the artist did an exceptional job. No complaints here. Thank you so much, Carolina, for sending that over. The next one sent over is from Alan Lee with this 3-day SpongeBob tattoo. Hopefully SpongeBob doesn't end up being a real weirdo. I'm not gonna say it's weird to get a full leg of SpongeBob. I mean, we're all into what we're into. It's just a little surprising, I guess. I will say for the most part, this tattoo is done really well. There are some questionable areas that I see, like around the knee, that saturation of teal is a bit spotty. And unfortunately, this is a problem I see a lot of times with back-to-back sessions, that the artist is just almost rushing through to get this tattoo completed. And sometimes the ink can be stubborn going in the skin when there's all this trauma around it. So that being said, it could definitely use one more pass just to button up areas like that. I do like how it's almost 2 scenes put together and it flows pretty well. However, I would like to see additional characters rather than just 2 Squidwards, 2 Planktons, 2 SpongeBobs. It just gets a little repetitive. I mean, where's them sandy cheeks?
I'll show y'all!
Oh, I see her. She's on the very right side on top of the knee.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Again, I think for the most part, it's just saturation issues in this tattoo that I see. Like SpongeBob's eyes on the bottom, there's a little bit of white, but it just looks a bit patchy. And that's kind of happening throughout this entire tattoo, but again, maybe this tattoo is rushed. I also think it's hilarious how you have this other dark, evil-looking tattoo on your other leg. I think the juxtaposition or contrast in those 2 tattoos is hilarious. I've got a dark side. But I also like kids shows. I guess that's interesting. But no, in all seriousness, Alan, rock on. This tattoo is super bright and vivid, and it looks dope from far away. Thank you so much for sending that over. The next one comes in from Pamela Boutte. I don't know how to sound that out. She's French. But anyway, Pamela, you sent over this super cute neo-traditional cat tattoo that you said is in memoriam of your 15-year-old cat. And I gotta say, this thing is pretty stellar. You mentioned in the email that the first session was 5 hours and the second session was also 5 hours. So this is a solid 10-hour tattoo. And I really like how the artist held back and didn't overdo it on the details. Like the flowers, for example, they're pretty simple, but they are well executed. And the artist did have a great color palette. Those browns on the stems of the flowers go super well with the orange on the flowers themselves. And even the oranges work beautifully with the purple on the bow. I can appreciate the paw print on the necklace. I do think that's a very nice touch. And the whiskers, I do worry about how they'll age, but you did send over a healed photo, so let's check that out. And I gotta be honest, those whiskers didn't heal bad at all. I think there's enough gray shading around them to keep the structure of the whiskers sharp. Obviously, the white itself looks like it faded out a bit, but again, I think that's fine because of the shades around it. Those light gray wash lines in the face and in the paws healed beautifully. Those light gray wash lines are usually there to keep structure, and this tattoo did just that. The oranges aren't as vibrant as it was fresh, but with those oranges and yellows, you kind of got to expect just that. The line did thicken up quite a bit around this tattoo, but since the artist didn't overdo it on the details, I think it's fine. It did get a little patchy in the black on the top of the cat's head, but it's really not that bad. Overall, I think this is a pretty solid tattoo, and I'm sure you're stoked about it. Thank you, Pamela, for sending that over and sharing that with us. All right, the next one comes in from Hector with this Darth Vader tattoo, and Hector, you said this was done over 3 6-hour sessions. And I do gotta apologize about the quality of this photo. It's not great, but that's not my fault, that's Hector's. So it is a little hard to read from this photo, but it does look very, very vibrant. Those blues and purples are just screaming, but I don't see a whole lot of solid blacks. And it is Darth Vader after all, so I would expect to see, I don't know, a little bit of black. The front left part is supposed to be Darth Vader's hand doing the force choke, but since it's all the same colors, the same tone, no outline of any kind, it does get a bit lost. But you sent over a healed photo as well, so let's check that out. And I gotta say, this tattoo healed like shit. And it's funny now because I do see a lot of black. I don't know where that was in the fresh tattoo, but it's here now. Well, shitty black, but black nonetheless. Yeah, this thing doesn't look very good, my guy. I'm assuming the artist doesn't really know how to apply color, or that first image was heavily photoshopped, because I don't see hardly any blue aside from the helmet in this thing whatsoever. And it was all over the place in the original photo. Like, there was so much blue in the eye and in the mouth of Darth Vader in the original that's just not there at all. You did wonder in your email if this is possibly because of your skin, but I'm here to say that it's not. I definitely wouldn't put that on you. This just seems like it's done by an artist that doesn't really know how to apply color, or is really good at photoshopping their images. It's gotta be one or the other, so pick one.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Luckily for you, this tattoo is absolutely savable if you can find somebody that's really good that doesn't mind working on existing tattoos. I don't know if they'll be able to save that egg-shaped helmet or not, that's another question. But as far as getting those colors back in there, that really shouldn't be a problem since this black is pretty patchy. Maybe check out my guy Gary Parisi out of Chicago, who is great with cover-ups and absolutely loves Star Wars. Anyway, Hector, thank you so much for sending that in, and I definitely wouldn't go back to that same artist. All right, that's gonna be it for the critiques, but I do have to share with you my favorite tattoo of the episode. And this one was sent in by Pamela with this cat memorial. Again, it's not overly complicated, but it is done very well and it healed excellent. It has all the right ingredients to make a solid tattoo for the rest of your life. So congratulations, Pamela, on being my favorite this week. There was a couple other cool ones, but I think the application just hurt them a bit. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below if I got it right. All right, now it's that time to feature an artist who I think you should all be following, and this week's featured artist is AJ Bahowski, who is actually coming to work at my shop in April. I'm super excited to have him at the shop. I think he's gonna fit right in with all the other nerds. He specializes in watercolor anime tattoos that look like they're painted right on the skin. He seems to capture a lot of motion and emotion in his tattoos. But he is a super rad dude, so make sure you head on over to his page, give him a follow, let him know I sent you, and maybe we'll see you getting a tattoo from AJ at the shop soon. All right, that's gonna wrap up this episode, but before you go, please don't forget to subscribe, as it does mean quite a bit to us here who put this all together. And once again, I am on the lookout for healed melanated tattoos, as I've only had a couple sent in. We're trying to get a full episode out of it, so if you guys are melanated with some solid healed tattoos, be sure to send them over to ponycritiques@gmail.com. Or if you know anyone personally, let them know to send them on over. As always, please subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.